Hello everyone and welcome back to another TBR video. Just like last month, we are going to do our TBR before we do our March wrap up because this is the April TBR. And that is for a couple of reasons. First off, once again, just the way the dates lined up. And secondly, I am actually in Ireland as of the time that you're seeing this video. Oh wait, no, I'm not. I'm not yet. I leave on the 30th of March and I come back the 9th of April. But now that you know why we're meeting earlier than normal, let's talk about what we're going to do for this month's TBR. Last month we did something really exciting where we picked like a list from I think it was 2023 and it was like prompts and we spun a wheel and got a number and then picked a book based off of the prompt from the number. And we are doing something kind of similar today, except our prompts are already picked for us, and we have 10 of them. I know 10 is double the amount of books that we picked for our March TBR. I have all online classes this semester, and I'm hoping we can read all 10. But we have 10 because my library is doing a reading challenge called 10 to Try for the year of 2024, where they gave me 10 book prompts, and then we have to pick a book, and then the 10 books to try, and there's different categories, right? That's the plan. As you can see behind me, this is my little book stash. There's actually a lot more books over there. We will rotate over there in a second. But first off, I'm going to tell you the 10 book prompts and we're going to go from there. I'm telling you all the prompts up front because I want to and I have a really hard time keeping secrets. So that's why we're doing that. The first one is a book that inspires cultural awareness. Secondly is a book about family or chosen family. Third is a book with pictures. Fourth is a book about food or cooking. Fifth is a book with a one-word title. Sixth is a book based on a real life event or the life of a real person. Seventh is a book set in another world, place, or time. Eight is a book that is set in the area that I live. I don't want that on the internet, but broad term wise, I have to pick a book that takes place in Washington. So that's book prompt number 8. And then number 9 is a book about books, reading or writing. And then finally is a book that appeals to your mind. Now, because this is a library book challenge, I'm hoping I can pick all books from my library stack because I think it would be fun if I used library books to complete the library challenge. With that being said, we're gonna mosey our way down. I'm gonna move us over a little bit and we're gonna pick our books. Okay, so as you can see, most of my library books are right here in this stack. There's like 4 books you can't see at the bottom. If I end up picking one of them, I'll show them to you. But these are the books we're gonna be picking from. Hopefully, if there's a category that doesn't have a book that I'm looking for, then I'll look at my personal stash. But these are the library books we're picking from. I do know there are a couple over here. This is my month's TBR for March, and I'm hoping I get through those. And there's actually a couple in the stack behind here as well, but I have video plans with those, so I'm hoping I can avoid picking those as well. But now that you know kind of what's going on, I'm going to move my annotation bookmark stack to a different place, and we are going to pick our books. Okay. I'm excited and scared. The first prompt is a book that inspires cultural awareness. The thing is that a lot of these have to do with like things I don't normally read. Like this is mostly fantasy. So let me pick out, I think there's 2 that could work and we'll go from there. Alrighty, I have grabbed the 2. Let's talk about them. The first one is Flipping Boxcars by Cedric Kyles. I actually read the blurb of this one, or the last part of the blurb, and this is why I think this one would work. It says, Flipping Boxcars is not only it's a word I don't know how to say. Flipping Boxcars is not only a something ride, but a valentine to the close-knit Black families and tightly woven communities that struggle to get by during the Depression and World War II. This dazzling, fast-paced debut novel pays homage to Cedric's beloved grandfather and a past generation, is anchored by rich, multi-dimensional characters and oozes with irresistible charm. So, culture for his grandfather, history. I'm liking this one. The other one I thought would work is Under the Poppy. This actually, I think this might be a fantasy though, because it says, I thought it could work because, oh no, cultural awareness. This is not cultural awareness. The only thing in here that's cultural awareness-y, kind of, is high society. I think I was thinking about something else. So I don't think we're going to do this one. I think we are going to go with Flipping Boxcars because I genuinely don't think there's a better option in my stack. The second one is a book about family or chosen family. I don't know how to determine that. I have a couple of YA books in here that might work. Let me pull one of them out and see if it will. Okay, so this right here is the one I was hoping will work. It's called These Vicious Games. I don't know. Scholarship. This sounds more like a mystery, so I don't think this one's going to work. What else could? A book about family or chosen family? This is a horror book. I'm not even going to look at that. This is a romance. I don't think there's going to be anything in there. This is a mystery. Could be something in here. Oh, maybe this one. The last little part of the blurb says, inspired by a true story. Oh. We're saving that one because we need a real life event, and I don't know if we have another one for real life event. Okay, moving on. Oh, this one might be good. It says getting over fear of death. Stuck on the back of a jellyfish for a long time. She has everyone else living there. Don't know how exactly they got there or how long they've been there or where they're going. They just remember that something traumatic happened, but they can't escape. But now the crew has finally had enough. They're trying to escape the jellyfish or die trying, which, let's be real, probably means they're going to die. I think this one might be good. Jelly. Found family. Possible family. It sounds like they all know and respect each other. I'm hoping. We're going to go with this one for family or chosen family. I think this is a good one. The third one is a book with pictures, and I know exactly the book that I'm picking for this. I have one book from the YA section that has pictures in it, and that is going to be Eliza and Her Monsters. Next is a book with a one-word title, and let me pick out the ones that could work. Okay, from my library stack, I have 2 books that could work. The first one being Lore by Alexandra Bracken. This one I picked up after I read Silver in the Bone. This is the same author, and I have high expectations. And then the second one is Projections by S.E. Porter. I got this one because it sounded interesting, and then I opened it up and looked at the size of the font, and now I'm scared of it. So I think we are going to go with Lore. It's called Lore, right? Yeah, we're going to go with Lore. I'm happy with this decision. Oh, I skipped one. The one before that was a book about food or cooking. I don't know if I have any books, period, about food or cooking. Does Apothecary count? I don't think I have any, actually, which is kind of weird. Like I said earlier, the books from the library are mostly fantasy books, and the books from my personal stash are also mostly fantasy or like romance. I have romance in here, but I don't think I have any about cooking. We're going to put it on hold, and we're going to come back to that one. Moving on and skipping a book with a one-word title. The next one is a book based on a real-life event or the life of a real person, and we are going to go with The Wharton Plot. I don't know what it's based on or based off of, but it says that The Wharton Plot is inspired by a true story. And I can't be bothered to read any more blurbs. So, The Wharton Plot is going to be our book for that. The next one is a book set in another world, place, or time. That's pretty much all of the books here. So I'm also going to put that one in hold, and we're going to come back to it. The next prompt is a book that takes place in Washington. And for that one, there was actually a book on display in my library that I picked up that takes place in Seattle. Or I'm pretty sure it takes place in Seattle. Let me check. Is it not this one? No! Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go and check every single one of these and find which one is Seattle. Is this really not Seattle? I am like dead serious when I say that I know one of these is Seattle. Alright, I guess it's time to go spelunking. I found it! That was fast! This one is my Seattle book. It's actually a romance called Winds Once Cursed and Bound. And the main character lives her life in Seattle, unaware of the complicated magical world spinning just beyond the shadows and mist. So fantasy, romance, romantasy, Seattle. There is my Washington requirement. The next one is a book about books, reading, or writing. Books, reading, or writing? Man, why they always gotta pick complicated things? Hold on. A book about books, reading, or writing. And education and malice? Do you have something to do with books, reading, or writing? Dark academia tale. College, isolated ancient. Not a place for timid girl. Oh, together they are drawn into the confidence of their demanding poetry professor, who holds her own dark obsession with Carmilla. Ooh, this one is how much they're willing to sacrifice for their pursuit of knowledge. And poetry is both reading and writing, So we're gonna go with this, which is really sad. I wanted to read this before my trip. I'm gonna see if there's another option just because I genuinely really wanted to read this before my trip. Hold on. I don't have any. They're all freaking fantasy. I'm going with it then. I'm not cheating. I already have one I need to grab from. That's not the same book. I already have one I need to grab from someone else. An Education in Malice. That's what we're gonna go with. Okay, and then the final one on the list is a book that appeals to my mind. Let's see, what have we got going on for April? Do we have any thrillers yet? We really don't. We have a lot of YA. I think I'm actually gonna pick a thriller. I'm gonna go with Find You in the Dark. This is the one that I thought took place in Seattle, but does not. It's by Nathan Ripley. And this is what we're going to go with. Alrighty, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books. I need to find one about food or cooking, which I'm thinking might be on my Kindle. And then I need a book set in another world, place, or time. That could literally be any of these, dude. They're all freaking... I'm really still sad about my Education in Malice. I wanted to read that today. Would we be mad if I read that now? Watch me not even read it. I'm gonna pull it. We're gonna find a different one for reading, writing, book. We're gonna find a different one. I'm sorry. I completely got distracted. For a book that takes place in another world, place, or time, we are going to go with Under the Poppy. So what do we have left? We need to do a book about food or cooking and a book about books, reading, or writing. We can do that, right? We can do that. Let's go do that. Okay, so I grabbed my computer. Let me move you so you can see. I grabbed my computer. It's right here. You can't really see what I'm looking up, but it's really not important because I'm just going to talk about it. I am going to my Kindle app on here. Okay, so we need one about food and we need one about something else. What was it? Food, books, reading, or writing. For the one about books, reading, and writing, I think that I have one in here that would work. It is called The Echo of Old Books by Barbara Davis. Let me read what it's about. Rare bookstore owner who can sense the feeling of past readers' discovers their books and becomes obsessed with finding out the truth about the doomed love. That's cute. That's going to be our book about books, reading, or writing. It takes place in a library. And she connects with books. That's cute. That's going to be our one about books, reading, or writing. And then we need one about cooking or food. Where in the heck am I going to find that? Literally, all of the ones in my Kindle right now are freaking fantasy. And a couple of thrillers. Book about food. Does My Life with the Walter Boys have food in it? Does it, what constitutes of food? Can they just be eating a meal? Because I feel like every single book would count then. I feel like that's stretching it. Hold on. Okay, I kid you not. I just looked up books about food that are fiction. See, none of these appeal to me. Books featuring food. Here we go. It's from 2017. Oh my gosh. Ew. Magic Bitter, Magic Sweet. Someone can infuse baked goods with emotion and abilities. She's enslaved by an eccentric and visited by a ghost who slowly helps her uncover past mistakes but due to cosmic consequences. That's cute! Magic Bitter, Magic Sweet. Can I get it on the Kindle? It's on Kindle Unlimited. I literally have the best luck. Amazing. Is that all 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is all 10. Oh my god, we did it! So, we found our 10 books. And I'm very excited. Let's go over our list for our April TBR. The first prompt was a book that inspires cultural awareness, and I picked Flipping Boxcars by Cedric Kyles. The second was a book about family or chosen family, and I picked Jelly by Claire Rees, or Ress, R-E-E-S. Something. Third is a book with pictures, and we picked Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappina. Fourth is a book about food or cooking, and we picked, what's it called? Magic Bitter, Magic Sweet by Charlie N. Holenberg on my Kindle. Next is a book with a one-word title, and we picked Lore by Alexander Bracken. The sixth prompt was a book about a real person or a real-life event, and we picked The Wharton Plot by Maria Fredericks. Is that her name? I think so. Next was a book set in another world, place, or time, and we have Under the Poppy by a name I can't pronounce. Third to final one, we have a book that takes place in Washington, and for that, we have Wings Once Cursed and Bound by Piper Drake. The second to last one is a book about books, reading, or writing, and we are going to be reading The Echo of Old Books by Barbara Davis, also on my Kindle. And then we have a book that appeals to your mind, and to get through all of these freaking not thrillers, but just very one-sided books, like very similar. I picked up a thriller, and it's gonna be Find You in the Dark by Nathan Ripley. I forgot his last name. But yeah, those are our 10 books. That is quite the stack. I am very excited to be doing this, and I hope that you are too, because this is going to be a really fun month. I want to start this now, and it's literally March 20th. That's concerning. I can't do that. But nonetheless, I'm very excited to read our books and see where these wonderful stories take us in the month of April, which I'm hoping to do a vlog with them this month, because I think I said I was going to do one in March, and it just never worked out. I've yet to read half of my TBR for March. I don't even know if I'm going to get through it, but nonetheless, I'm very excited to read these and have a fun time in our books in the month of April. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me for making our TBR. Let me know what's on your TBR for April, if you've already made it, or if you have anything you want to read in April or just upcoming. Let me know. I would love to talk about books with you. And yeah, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. Toodaloo!